TMI Thursday morning edition. I will quickly go straight into our second talking point this beautiful Thursday morning. The federal government recently said that due to the continuous attack in the state capital and other parts of the country, they are moving a ban to stop Okada riders in the country. And this has actually created a lot of reactions from some quarters. And with us again this morning, I still got my discussant with me in the studio, and someone else is joining us talking about Felix O'Neill. Okay, so he's the secretary, and also he doubles as the advisor to the Okada riders of the Bobaoka area. Okay, so he will be joining us in this discussion, and later on, as we proceed on the show this morning, we'll be opening the phone lines that we can also get your reaction on the subject matter. Now let me start with you. All right, Okada ban. We actually spoke at length last night, and you mentioned some key areas why the government shouldn't dare to stop Okadas in the state or in the country at large. So what is your take on the proposed ban?
Yeah, that's correct. Good morning, viewers. The Okada ban is actually not a good idea, especially at this sensitive time in our country. You agree with me that with this Okada, with this issue of with this Okada riding, so many persons are making their life. They are making estimates for their life. Personally, I am a graduate.
Wow.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I've done a postgraduate program.
Wow.
I am not against the government coming up with policies that will better the life of the individuals, but they should not come with policies that will rather destroy or annihilate the interest of the citizens. This issue of Okada, I will tell you that through this Okada, many of us have make our lives. Presently, I own a farm.
Wow.
And I gathered this capital from the same Okada. Okay. I have a farm. Just yesterday, I ordered for like 3,000 fingerling. And I got this money from Okada riding. What about the help we are rendering to the people within the ASICs? There are some ASICs that the vehicle cannot get to. The tricycles cannot, they are not even motorable by the tricycles. It's only the Okada that will go there. The interior, like my park, if you go to my park, there is a place we call Ohobe. It's the kind of in between Ohobe and Aurora. Okay. Those parts, they are not motorable at all. And these people go to work. And
the only way to access
the
those
only way
areas
to access the route for them to board vehicle to their various places of work is through the use of Okada. It is beneficiary to us as the rider because we are making our ends meet from it, and it's also beneficiary to the people around the community. So banning the Okada is a very wrong option.
Okay, coming to Wisdom Elder now, looking at the rate at which these bandits use motorcycle to carry out their wicked acts, and I'm very sure that was the reason why the federal government felt, okay, let's take off motorcycle off the street of Nigeria. Don't you think it's a good one for us as a nation?
Well, the truth is the government trying to ban Okada is not the solution to handling bandits, because the bandits actually pass through our checkpoints and they pass through some of our security agencies. They infiltrate into even the barracks and the camp of our security agencies to operate. So the solution to terrorism has never been to disenfranchise the common man or to create a policy that will further limit or stop the people from succeeding. Now, Okada riding, if you ban Okada, will you ban hillocks when they start using hillocks? Because they use hillocks. Will you ban other means of transportation they use? The reason why this ban is trying to come up is because some people do not want to actually carry out their job. I've never seen a place where terrorism is fought in isolation, where terrorism is not handled in partnership with other countries or other consulting firms who handle security issues. It's only here we are seeing our people trying to cap everything up and make it look as if there's no, saw what Femi Additional was saying yesterday. You are the one that is making people to be afraid. You are the one that is making people to be scared. Everybody is peaceful, everywhere is calm. And that is the kind of person that has the interests of the country at heart, So when you send a report to such persons, they will tell you there is nothing like that until the attack happens. So the banning of Okada, I don't know the statistics that the federal government must have taken to know the number of persons that survive on Okada riding in the country. And then the statistics they have taken to conclude on the number of bandits that use Okada to ply through our borders. Because some of these people that pass through our borders into some of our states, both in the south and different parts of the country, they never went in through Okada. They never went in through the Okada they are trying to ban. And that is terrorism. Terrorism does not work in isolation with the government. They work with the government. Terrorism work with security agencies. They can contact you from anywhere, lodge money in your account, and then you begin to do their bidding, even though you are inside the military. That's terrorism. So this is not way of handling it like you are handling it.
So you're saying terrorism is a networking stuff?
Yes, terrorism is deep. In fact, Nigerian military before terrorism should have upgraded after terrorism. There should be a pre-Boko Haram level of militarization and the post-Boko Haram level, because after Boko Haram entered into the country, we should upgrade, because the pattern of handling terrorism is not the usual system of militarization. It's not at all. So using some of these smaller means is like trying to tell us that maybe we are the people who are, before you know it, very soon maybe people will start being arrested for nothing. But the real issue is there. We have to look into it. The system has been polarized, the security system, and then a lot of people are funding it. A lot of people are doing a lot of things on it. So those places, all those loopholes, the names that they have called have not actually been checked. The accounts that takes money have not been checked. The means of these people sending videos and all the rest of them, even to the internet, have not been checked. There was a time one of the captors gave a map of where he was. He gave a Google map. I said, if our security agencies are very, very proactive, I think this map should have been able to at least point out the location where they are. And it's not as if we don't know where they are. It's not as if we don't know the forest they are hiding, because some people go there to deliver money. There was one of the persons that was rescued recently. He was talking of how he was able to raise 60 million and some friends were able to raise 40. And when they were transporting this money to the terrorists, some people who were sent to guard the area, military people who were sent to guard the area, also collected. So before the money got to terrorists, they had about a shortage of 770,000 naira. And they said, if you get there, tell them that is their own share. You understand? And they were saying because we were placed here and there was no care. I'm telling you, this is happening. This is just one of the persons that was released on this Kaduna Abuja train. So this is what is happening. So what are we doing? I don't understand why we want to create a false alarm, and then the real issue is not being treated.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll get back to you. But now let's quickly get to Rich Rose now. Let's look at the economic effect this is going to have in the country. Now we have people who survive on spare parts selling, away from those who actually ride motorcycles. We have those who sell spare parts, we have those who repairs, we have the mechanic on the streets. So let's quickly look at, do you think it's going to have a huge economic effect?
I think the word huge is an understatement. It's going to be massive.
Okay.
Yes, it's going to be massive because the people are we're already crying that we need help economically, things are not what they are supposed to be. And some of us that are surviving on this Okada riding and all of that are going to be put out of job. And then when they are put out of job, many homes will suffer, children will suffer. And when that happens, when a father will look to the right and left, wife is crying, children are crying, there's no way out. Some who are very shallow in thinking, let me use it that way, we opt for crime.
Okay.
So it's like going around the same cycle. You want to put people out of jobs, and we are even saying the little we have is not enough. So what I'm saying this is, if the government wants or decide to do something, they should always sit down and be very holistic about it. If we do this, what's the aftermath effect? Why not we do this first so that they can fall back to this after doing this? Look at like what the Okada man, yes, in our midst is saying. He's a graduate, but this is what he's been living on. I'm sure he's a family man. And then from here now, he was able to raise money to start a small farm. So what are we saying? If we now decide that, okay, now let these people stop, I still feel like he rightly put, that these are not the major challenges we have, security-wise. Because these people can use other means of transport. They can devise other means. So the government, we just trust God, we sit up to this whole game. And do you know we have what it takes? I was talking with somebody, and worldwide, our force, they are recognized. Okay. We have very strong setup.
Military.
Yes, when you talk about force, when you talk of intellect, we have them. But we are not using what we have to tackle the problem before us. So I think we are still saying, I'm speaking on behalf of women, I'm speaking on behalf of children.
Who are wives and children,
yes.
These Okada riders now.
If this one now is put out, what are they going to fall back to? We are saying that the Okada and the tricycle, whatever, is on ground, yet people are still crying for hunger.
But insecurity has become a serious threat to the nation, and the government is feeling, okay, this should be an alternative route for us.
Let me tell you something. Do you know that currently to purchase an Okada is getting close to 400,000 naira? Currently.
Is that true, Felix?
380 before now. This one that
that's approximately 400.
This one that dollar climbed to 710 now.
As at last week, 390.
It has moved beyond 400,000. 400,000 naira.
Okada that we got around 2030.
Yes.
That
was 80,000 before now, and then 400,000. I was gathering the displaced persons from the northeast. Because so many of those displaced persons flooded into Lagos and other parts of the southern part of Nigeria. And so many of Nigerians, they don't believe that those people that were coming to the southern part of Nigeria were not mercenaries. So many of them feel they were coming because they were like mercenaries coming to perpetrate terrorism. Whereas these people were running out of their villages, their hometowns, all in Borno State, in Zamfara, some of these places that terrorists are taking over. The people there are running away, and the places they sleep, like in Lagos, they sleep on the streets. How do they survive? Okada, just through one person. The other person is surviving. And these people were telling, they said if they had given them the weapon to fight these terrorists, they would have been able to fight them. But they did not give them weapon, and nobody was fighting. So these people had weapons. So there's nothing they could do other than to run. So they deserted their area. The people that goes to farm in the past are no longer going to farm. and it's affecting people, and the means of people's survival is what somebody will just stand up in the state house and suggest that they should be banned because that person does not want to do his work.
Actually, the National Assembly, House of Reps to be precise, they're actually trying to go into the issue. They actually had us on Tuesday. They stepped down with a motion to halt the federal government proposed ban on commercial motorcycle operations. All right, although it's still on board, they are still looking at it.
Let me quickly add this. I want you to get us right. Banning this thing is not a problem per se if there is a plan B.
There's a plan B.
There's no plan B. Because whether we like it or not, when Okada was put out of the major road, the menace, reduced. All these accidents, you see legs. Because even when you go to hospital, you see men's legs amputated and all of that. It reduced. And then they were now they say, okay, no, don't be at the major road. Go to all these other roads where you will not have, the accidents will be minimal. And now you are now saying, and then they started surviving, trying to meet up. And you now say, okay, no, we don't want you there again. When you my simple question is this, when you decide to say, okay, fine, we are banning Okada in total, what is the plan B? Because these people are fathers, that have wives, that have children. They are even managing with this now. If you now remove it, I am still asking, what is government saying? What is the next thing he will hand over to them and say, okay, now be doing this?
Okay, let's get to Felix. Felix, what's your reaction on that before we open the phone lines?
Let me come in this way.
All right.
This issue of Okada is something that you just cannot do away with. We can't do without it.
Why?
The reason is this. Even while we are looking at what the riders stand to benefit, then we mentioned something just now. The people in the outskirts, how are they going to manage their means of coming out?
Transportation.
The means of transportation in general. Because these places are not motorable.
Okay.
The government is not saying anything about it. They are not saying anything wrong in that. Now, in addition to this, now look at the issue of security, because I want to believe that is the reason why they are proposing this ban.
Sure.
Now, the government, did they involve the necessary stakeholders to discuss these issues? There are better ways we could go about it. For we as a park, for instance, I have a park I manage. There is a law in my park. We don't entertain any form of criminality. Stealing, even as a passenger, if you misplace your ring, and we found it in the hands of any of our members, that member, we will not just publicly disgrace such a member. After disgracing him, we will report such a member to the authority. Our patron is in agreement with this. We don't entertain any form of even harassment
criminal activities
among our passengers. We don't take it. If you come I will invite you to my park. The park is open. I just measured it. We are with around the Ibobaka Aziz. Okay. By the time you get there, it just pretend like just normal this thing. You'll see the way that we attend to you. Okay. Because of
maybe I should just pretend I dropped my phone. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying you should drop your phone, but I will assure you, if you drop your phone,
your phone is safe.
Okay, now let's quickly open our phone lines now so that we will take reactions as we begin to put a wrap on this segment. You want to call in 070-8365-1320. I think the number again, 070-8365-1320. All right, let's see if we can take one or two reactions from our viewers as we begin to put a finishing touch to this discussion. The phone number again is 070-8365-1320. All right, let's come to Rachel Rose. You actually talk about family that will be affected, wives that will really have financial issues with their husbands, children that may not go to school again due to the fact that their fathers have been chased out of workplace because of a ban. So what do you think is the way out now?
The way out is, I know government is trying their best, but we want them to try more. We have what it takes. If you are saying these people should not, you want to put a ban, for a wife and children, because children will not want to hear, okay, wait, don't eat today, tomorrow, next tomorrow, and then next week there's going to be food.
Okay.
Children they can't endure that, and then many wives will like, so now some go the day, you're not going to put anything on the table and all of that. So what is the simple thing you want to do to help these people? Why I'm asking is because we have what it takes.
Okay.
We have what it takes as a country, as a nation. If you must ban the Okada, although the Okada man here is saying, well, he's saying there's no reason. Because if we equally say the Okada must be banned, what about roads that are not motorable? That means you're telling us you're going to fix them overnight. They're going to fix them, and then everywhere will be streets, will go easily, because whether we like it or not, there are places you go to. You can't even drive there. I drive. There are places I go to, maybe I need to give a talk and all of that. I'd rather not drive because the road is appalling. So if there's a way out to all of this, then we are good to go with the government.
All right, talking about way out now, wisdom. There's no way every average Nigerian doesn't patronize motorcycle. Even those who own good cars, there are times, like you said, you have to take Okada. So if these people are now chased out of the street with the proposed ban, do you think it's going to have any effect?
Of course, definitely it will have. Do you know the reason why sometimes when government wants to take an action, especially leaders, when they want to take an action, they fall back to a normal, a usual kind of action and placing. Do you know the reason? The reason is because we are still bringing people who do not, they are politicians, they can win elections. But in terms of administration, in terms of leadership, in terms of professionalism, they are not there at all, but they can win elections. And that is because the system of politics in this country has entered into people who can win election instead of people who have the capacity and competence to deliver. Do you understand? So that actually is a problem and is a major challenge.
All right, let's quickly take this call. Hello, caller, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yeah, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
I'm Destiny, calling from Ojogbo.
All right, Destiny, quickly go ahead and share your thoughts with us.
Yeah, what I want to say is that why is that people who want to create problem, more problem? We are already in problem crisis. You want to ban Okada. This Okada, people sell for it. People eat from it. In this Okada, the bus seller, they are mechanics. And you want to ban all these people, you want to remove travel these people from work. And you are talking about security, what is security? And you want to increase more problem, crisis, more security. If all these people are tired, let them hand over to the other people. Let them hand over to other parties.
All right, we'll take, let's take that down. I'm sure the government have a few months to go. Yes. Okay, so you were saying something.
Yeah, I was saying something that when people who do not have the capacity to drive a particular system get in there, they will be rotating the pattern of leadership. Okay. It will still fall back to the usual. Anytime they want to generate revenue, they will first of all look at the people and think of how they can increase taxation or change the color of one particular piece of transportation or introduce one particular thing into the people and so that they can begin to pay or something like that. Because they do not know what to do. California, about 4 companies in California generate revenue more than the entire Africa GDP.
Okay.
Are you getting it?
Elder, let's take more calls. Hello, good morning, caller. Hello, good morning. Okay, please, when you're calling into the show, you need to turn down the audio volume on your television sets, all right, so that we can take your reaction. Okay, a quick one now.
So knowing what to do is very important. It's not about maybe you are there as a leader, so the people must pay extra tax, or we must place ban, or we must make them go through this. That means you don't know what to do to deliver these people.
Okay.
Like Facebook, Amazon, Microsoft, and Google. These 4 companies generate GDP higher than the entire Africa. And these 4 companies are in California. Are you getting me? These 4 companies are just in states in the US. They are not producing oil. They are not producing any mineral resources, just the ideas. So there are people who have the capacity to drive this country. All of them are all over this country. They are everywhere. We have people in this country that can take this country from where it is to a better place. But we have relegated professionals, we have relegated people who have competence. Look at the schools, they are shut down. Professors are shut down. People who can do things in this country are not being given the chance.
Okay, Elder, let's take one more call. Then we'll get to Felix as we wrap up. Hello, good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Tell us your name, where you're calling from.
I am Mr. Lee. I'm calling from Okada.
All right, Mr. Nduka, go ahead and talk to us.
My question is now that, don't you understand that if they find Okada, the people they start using car, even using a helicopter, you know, but are you going to ban the car by then? This is a typical operation to the common masses.
Okay.
But we thank God that they just have a few months to go. We thank God for that.
All right, thank you, Mr. Nduka. I think with that call, we really need to call it a wrap on the segment. Thank you so much, Mr. Felix, Elder Wisdom, Rich Rose. Thank you so much. Despite the short notice, you guys made it to the studio. I'm very sure next time when we call on you, you'll come around. Okay, we will quickly take a short pause now. Let's make way for the next segment on the show. Don't go nowhere.